follow Cross Atlantic Gaming on Twitter and Instagram at CAG Podcast. That's at CAG Podcast, and you'll keep up with all the latest and greatest things that fly out of Chocolate's brain. Actually, who needs more chocolate? Gosh. Risky, hit it.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 90 of Cross Atlantic Gaming. I'm your host Risky the Kid, and joining me this week, as always, are my co-hosts Chocolate Bear.
I'm back.
And the Moose.
What's up, guys?
What's up, what's up? Welcome back, Chocolate.
Hello, thank you.
Good to see you. How was your vacation?
It was stressful. It was a tough week.
All right, let's just get right into it. This week's episode is, first of all, it's episode 90. We're almost to like the 100 milestone where we have to kick somebody off the podcast.
Uh-oh.
Every 50 episodes, we gotta stick with this tradition. So
Right. So how are we gonna do it this time? Are we gonna vote, or
we could just like three-way rock paper scissors. Odd man out. It's just out.
That's true.
We'll figure it out. We got 10 more episodes before we have to get down to it, so plenty of time.
I think we should just wrestle.
Don't leave it to a popularity contest, because usually the guy you don't want to wins that one.
True, we won't do that. I kind of like the idea of wrestling, maybe like from old school, like wrestling, like lots of, that could get weird. Never mind. Bad idea. Voting sounds fine.
That's how Blue died, Risky.
Too soon. Blue is pretty old, actually. So I think
I was gonna say, was it too soon?
I don't know. Anyways, this is a video game podcast. Welcome to video games. But episode 90, 10 more, guys. We've been doing this for, I was gonna say what feels like forever, but really it hasn't. Right?
I don't know. I'd say you guys are seasoned vets. I'm still, getting wet behind my ears.
Wait, you got like 40 episodes? That's a lot. That's still a lot. I promise.
Yeah, I'm sure that's more. A couple of guest hosts thrown in there as well.
True. Very true.
The best guest host, right?
Well, obviously. That's why you're here.
No, we're here for video games.
Oh, that's why we're here. I keep going off track. Sorry, guys. Well, this is a Patreon episode, so we can get that out of the way first. Got everybody loaded up. Let's see who we got.
Who comes out the hat?
And the person that's coming out of this hat, Rocker.
Nice.
Yes.
Congrats, Rocker. Save you a little bit of money on your what is it? Your game achievements quest.
Achievement hunting?
Yeah, there you go. I apologize. Apparently I'm not words again this week.
Yay. Congrats, Rocker. Just get in touch with one of us, or we'll get in touch with you, one or the other, and we'll get you your Patreon winnings. If you want to be like Rocker and get yourself a chance to win the monthly Patreon drawing, you can head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. Check out the tiers, check out all that fun stuff. Get yourself entered into the fun monthly contest, and we are going to tweet out a fun little video of Rocker's name getting pulled out of a hat, so spoilers, but I guess if you are listening now, you already know who won.
No.
So doesn't really matter.
I'll hold it a day. We'll drop it on a Wednesday.
There you go. Perfect.
It's all about continuity anyways.
All right, and then before we get into what we've been playing, Chocolate, you got some things going on. You want to tell the people about them?
Yeah, we've dropping some My Friend is Pedro highlights. So I've popped that onto our YouTube channel. Please go check it out, laugh at it, cry at it, see some amazing headshots and the weird things you can do in that beautiful, beautiful game.
So there's just an enormous amount of ridiculous stuff that you can get done in that game. So hopefully there's some good stuff in there. There's
some nice stuff. At first, I wasn't too keen on how loose the mechanics were and the jumping, but looking at some of these highlights, it actually makes it so much more better and wonderful.
Yeah, and once you get the hang of it, it's like smooth as butter once you get into like a rhythm, I feel like.
Yeah, I do think it is very much a perpetual motion. As long as you keep going and you kind of stick with your path, it just runs lovely. So yeah, that'll be dropping. We also have some Apex highlights dropping maybe in a couple of weeks after that, and then another Apex one dropping a couple of weeks after that one.
And I will say that if you haven't been to the YouTube page, I think we're like 20 subs maybe away from being able to actually have youtube.com/whatever we decide, CAG Podcast or Cross Atlantic Gaming. So we're really not that far from being able to do that from subscribers. So 20-ish people, I think. If you haven't been there, go check it out. Maybe if you like the content, make sure to subscribe and like it and all that fun stuff that you do over on YouTube.
Yeah, please do. Please do. And we have something else that I need to drop. We have a new Xbox Games Deal podcast that has just dropped in January. So it's a short...
February?
No, he started in January.
Yeah, it started in January. I'm just announcing it now. I left a nice slow transition. So that has dropped. It's on every app apart from the Google Play Store at the moment, or the Google Podcast. I'm trying to get that sorted. Go check it out. It's anywhere up to about 5 minutes of just going through the deals and what you should grab and some of my personal faves. So go check it out, please.
Dude up. All right. I think that's everything we need to get out of the way. So now we can talk about what we've been playing this week. Another week in gaming. What have we all been playing? Chocolate, I'll start with you because I'm going to be honest, looking at our list of games here, you might be playing the only new game. Well, not new, but new to the podcast. So you're playing A Tale of Two Sons, or Son, A Tale of Two Sons?
It could be sons, is it?
Brothers, A Tale of
two
something.
sons, unless they're what is it, Siamese twins, conjoined twins?
Yeah, no, sons.
Tale
yeah,
of Two Sons.
slight typo there. Whoops. Yes, what a strange game. So Starbreeze Studios did this game, and it's a third-person twin-stick adventure game. Now, I dabbled slightly in it way back when, and it blew my mind, the controls. So I set it down. I've started again, and I'm determined to go through this as my main single-player playthrough. So essentially what happens, and I'm going to spoil the first 5 minutes of the game. So I know, I've got to spoil a game. I have to, every week. So what happens, it opens up into a cinematic. You're the younger brother, and your mother drowns while you're on the boat. And then it comes into you paying your respects at her grave. And then your father falls ill. And from there, you and your brother have to get your father to the next part of the level. The control schemes it's very strange. The right side controls the elder brother. The left side controls the younger brother.
Yeah, that's definitely like the one thing in this game that's kind of like, it's just so different than anything you've played.
Yeah, and if you get the brothers mixed the wrong way round, for me anyway, maybe it's because I'm a simpleton, I have to stop and I have to move the younger brother to the left and the older brother to the right, because I can't kind of look at the screen and control the pair of them at the same time.
Yeah, just can't get your brain to figure out what's going on.
Exactly, my brain just breaks. Control wise, that's all you do. You've got the sticks and the triggers, right and left. Obviously the right one being for the elder brother, the left one being for the younger brother. And that's how you interact with the world and go through the slight platforming or kind of slight puzzles that they've got during the game. It looks nice. The story. What do you think of the story, Risky? Have you played a lot of this game?
I didn't get that far into it because I originally had started playing it back when it first came out, or maybe when it first came out to Game Pass, maybe? I don't know. I definitely dabbled in it, and I have it in my library.
It might have been Games with Gold like a year and a half ago or so.
Yeah. And honestly, the only thing I can remember is the control scheme because it was just so different than anything I'd played. So, when you just said the story and kind of introduced it right there, I didn't even remember what this game was about. So,
that impactful for you?
Hey, the controls sure were. I'll never forget those. So.
My
That's something.
brain was broken at many points of this. So I think, from what I gather so far, once you get your father to see someone, that there's no talking. I'm going to be jumping around here because my head's going all over the place already. So there's no talking. So it's like a normal Nintendo game. So it's all text, and you do get that stupid voice of as they're talking,
like Sims people.
Yeah. And you're just like, why don't you cut that out and just bring up the text box for me, or vice versa, do voice acting.
Yeah, I don't need to hear blah 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 and then still have to read something while the game's making noises at my face.
Exactly. Slightly off-putting. It takes you out of the immersion.
Like it kind of makes sense in The Sims because it's kind of like that noise and then like a picture above their head or something, not dialogue that you have to read.
Yeah, that's exactly what that game that I tried to play, that RPG game. Shoot, now I can't remember.
That was a few weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was all Japanese.
Yeah,
and
I can't
that's
remember.
Basically what it was just somebody going blah blah blah.
Sword
Art Online.
That's it.
All the voiceover was Japanese, so you had to read plus have somebody shouting at you in another language at the same time.
But isn't that kind of what like anime people do for the most part? Like,
don't ask me, bro. I'm 0 for 2 in anime.
That's true. We'll find you some. Ask Kabaski. Maybe he can recommend something for you to dip your toes into the animes.
Doubt it.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know if anyone can convert you at this point. It might be too far gone.
One of my kids, I'm sure, if it is.
There you go.
One of them will get into it, and I'll see, it from their weird point of view, and I'll like it.
If you're lucky. Or I don't,
right.
You got enough stuff to consume, right? You don't need to add anime on top of it.
I just watched this terrible gymnastics movie today. So many plot holes.
Maybe you do need to get the kids into anime so you have something to watch that isn't gymnastic movies.
Yeah,
or
I was
TV.
telling you the other night, I was trying to watch Fighting with My Family, that rock movie about wrestling. And we got to watch Troop Zero, which is a group of misfit children that join a brownies troop to win some kind of science competition or something. I don't know. That was the second time I've seen it, though.
So much fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's hashtag girl dad life.
Girl dad. Exactly. You couldn't be watching old school Transformers and Spider-Man cartoons.
Or Monster Jam. Come on. That's a thing.
Yeah, 100%. There you go.
Oh, my son at the moment is watching, I think it's Dino King.
Yeah.
It's all I can describe it as is the dinosaur version of Pokemon.
Well, that sounds
like
okay.
Digimon. Yeah.
I hate it.
Or is it bad?
I'm off it, but I'm not, as you know, a lover of the Pokemons, but he is just mesmerized. He loves dinosaurs, so he's like, oh, wow. Oh,
awesome.
Yeah.
And before we move on from children's television, I'd watch my nephew this past Friday.
Right.
And he made me put on, I had to look it up, he made me put on Charlie's Color Forms City. You guys familiar?
No.
Nope.
Oh, all right. It's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. Definitely a child's thing, but it was probably the worst television I've ever had to sit through. So maybe don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to point that or highlight that out to my kids.
Yeah, because then if they love it, you're just in trouble. So, yeah,
Right.
Bad idea. I was hoping one of you knew what I was talking about, and you could be like, yeah, which is the worst television in the history of the world.
There's so much junk now, just with all these different streaming platforms that, we could all watch lifetimes of children's programming and never watch the same shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is there just like good money in it? Everybody's just cash grabbing, just throwing out whatever ideas they have, and someone will pick it up.
The modern day babysitter. People literally just set their kid in front of Netflix and go about their lives. Not saying that we do that, but that is definitely a trend that I see.
It sounds like an easy route. I'll probably pick that one up. Thanks for the advice.
All right. We'll see how they turn out in about 17 years.
Well, that's when you ship them off to college. You never see them again, right? Is that how that works? No?
Yeah, and then they just become outraged, angry snowflakes on the internet.
Need somebody to take care of me when I'm old. They probably won't.
Those
as long as
put
they
you
can
in
pay
front
for my
of
nursing home.
Netflix. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. That's a good game, huh?
Yeah, that was a rabbit hole and a half.
I would assume that's a pretty short game, so you should
Yes.
be able to knock that one out if you keep trucking through it.
So my wife's away a lot this week, so I'm hoping to finish that up and maybe
There you
get
go.
some gamer score. Cute tip though, don't play it if you're playing for the gamer score, or do play it for the gamer score, because everything is not tied to the actual gameplay.
Okay, you're
Believe
gonna
it
have
or
to
not.
explain that one.
Yeah.
So Call of Duty, the campaign, you finish mission 1, achievement pops. On this one, however, you go through the level or the world, and nothing pops unless you do a specific task. So one of them was I can't think of the name. I think it was like Black Sheep of the Family, and halfway through the level there was some white sheep. You had to pick one up and you had to drop it in coal to turn it into a black sheep, which then popped the achievement, which has nothing to do with the actual progression of the story or the game.
Are they big achievements at least? Like you're getting 100 achievements for turning a white sheep black?
Well, I don't. Chester's going to hear this anyway. God damn it. Yeah, you're getting 50, 75. I think the full completion, or I say the completion for the achievement halls of the community, I think it's only 400 game score, but there
Oh,
are
that's
some
not
big.
much then.
No,
But
there's
big
12
ones you can get,
achievements.
yeah.
You know, I suppose at whatever level you are, you can't be grumble when you can get 400 in under 3 hours.
Yeah, right. Makes
So
sense.
yeah. So
So,
that's.
so your contest isn't going well still?
So I haven't checked. I know I was beating him on the 3rd of February in terms of how much he collected during February and how much I did for those 3 days, but
You need
I
to get
haven't
Rocker to DM you that list of easy gamer scores.
no, I think you've got it the wrong way around. I need to DM him my sign-in details and he needs to play some games.
Play for you. There you go.
Jess, if you want to go about it that way, sir.
So I will say that you probably haven't had a ton of time for Brothers because you've been working on your Apex Legends status. Like I said, we don't have a ton of new games to talk about, so we can all talk about Apex a little bit. But Chocolate, you had a very good day in Apex the other day. Tell us about it.
Well, I think it, I say spiraled. It uplifted from me and Moose jumped on one evening, managed to get some Apex in, and I think we got, what was the highest we got, Moose? It wasn't overly.
It was top 3, I think. I ended up winning a couple games later that night after you went to bed.
Yeah, so I didn't have the greatest night. The following day, it was Thursday, kids off, brilliant. I jumped into Apex, and this is unheard of, and I don't know whether I was playing little children, but I knocked out 5 wins. 5 goddamn Apex champion wins.
I was going to say, how many different people were carrying or wearing the baby Bjorn for Chocolate to win 5 times?
That's what I said. He had to send the whole internet to the chiropractor.
Exactly.
Well, there's a guy that I play regularly with. It just so happens he's always on at the same time as me when the kids are away.
So he plays all the
carried
time.
he carried me a fair bit, and then we must have jumped into someone who is an absolute Apex beast, because that guy carried us to 3 other wins.
So that guy's just
That guy was
his
that
back.
guy. Yeah, I mean
That's who you need to give your login info to, Chocolate.
Yeah, right.
But listen, I did my fair share. There was a running theme throughout that day, and it was 2 kills and around 300 damage. That was every screenshot.
That's respectable, right?
It only takes 1 kill, really.
Well, true. Only takes 1 kill to win. But yeah, bar one photo, I think one of them I did 1,100 damage. I think I got 3 kills, but yeah.
I got to figure out how to pull a clip off my VOD, because me and Ladonian co-streamed last week, and I got the final kill with a triple take sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Clean him up.
Yeah,
I
so
don't like
gotta-
the triple take.
Ah, dude, I love that thing.
Do you?
Yeah.
The triple take is the only gun. I say the only gun. I'll be corrected very shortly, but it doesn't have any bullet drop, so you can pinpoint aim, and wherever you're aiming, that's where that bullet is firing.
Right, because it shoots like a beam of light, essentially.
Yeah, 3 bullets, don't they go?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
It's like a spread almost.
yeah, it's a very small spread. So if you're aiming for the head, as long as you're near it, one of those bullets are hitting him. Or if it's in the chest, it's three in the chest.
And I guess I've been using the Sentinel incorrectly this whole time, the whole last week. So you're supposed to use one of your shield charges to charge up the rifle, and then it will do 100 damage.
Yeah, it will break a shield,
What?
or it will kill. It will kill you if you don't have a shield.
I've picked up that thing so many times.
I
was
know,
like,
me
I don't
too.
get it.
I was like, this thing shoots way too slow. This thing's garbage.
And when I picked it up, it was kind of like, it just reminds me of like a 50 cal sniper rifle. And then
Right.
I picked it up and shot someone. I was like, wait, what? Why aren't you dead?
But they do have a 50 cal sniper rifle, but it only drops on the supply drops.
Is
Oh,
that
the Kraber.
The gold one?
Yeah, the
Kraber?
Kraber.
Kraber. It's the way they've changed some of the guns. They've kind of lumped all the sniper rifles, as they should be, in sniper rifles. So there's a new...
Except for the G7, they turned it into a
G7's
assault
turned
rifle.
into a bolt action assault rifle. Yeah.
Semi-auto, not bolt action.
Oh, okay, semi. Yeah, so adding the hop ups for the sniper rifles, changing the ammo as well. It's just what they've done and how they've changed it. It feels nice. It did take a week to try and get used to what was happening, because the map is completely messed up. Having I can't think of the
Planet
centerpiece.
Harvester, isn't that
Yes,
what they call
thank
it?
you.
Yeah.
Planet Harvester in the middle.
It's just
and,
ripping that thing apart. I guess it's supposed to change periodically through the week or something too.
Possibly. There's one part of it that's near the train track and near kind of the city centre, where you would normally have a nice lush kind of green that
Yeah.
you could run across, and you could hug kind of the mountains so no one could see you. There's now like a massive crater in the middle,
Right,
and a
giant
very
lava
small
pit.
and a small bridge. Yeah, just the attention to detail, the lead up they did is phenomenal, and I don't know whether that's hyped me up so much that I'm loving everything about the game, or they've done a perfect thing of what they've changed with the map, the guns, etc., and that's good.
So how you guys liking Revenant? Risky, have you played with Revenant or played with anybody that had him yet?
I played some games with Shopa and he was using them. It seemed it's a cool idea, his whole like revive thing, but with the minimal amount of health you actually get, it's kind of.
But you still have all your stuff, so you can just recharge or
right. If
give
you
yourself a
I
med
guess
pack.
the main thing is you just need to be super strategic as to where you put the respawn
Right.
point thing.
Yeah.
Because if you put that anywhere that anybody can see it, they're obviously just gonna camp it and kill you.
Right. I think
yeah.
the way that they designed it is to like put that totem up like behind a wall or behind a rock or something that where people can't see you. Everybody activate and then just push.
Yeah.
So then
But with Revenant, because of his health, so it was quite interesting. Everyone's from the trailer and assumed Revenant would be this forceful, you would be the attacker, whereas I was listening to a different podcast about Apex Legends specifically, and they've turned it, which makes more sense if you actually think about it. Revenant, because he takes so much more damage, he's more of a supported character. So for instance, if the three of us played, I was Revenant, you two would push and I would try and support by either sneaking up around the people we were attacking, as you two could push forward because you would have better health, take less air quotes damage. And that's the way he's meant to be played.
The one thing, because I just started playing again, not a ton, but a decent amount, and the one thing that I'm still trying to get my head wrapped around is the hop-ups, because I just don't know what they do most of the time. So first of all, I don't know if I have a gun for it. It does say it, and
Yeah.
if you go over it and you can equip it, obviously you can just hit X or whatever, and it goes right on your gun. But yeah, if somebody's like, hey, I've got a G7 hop-up, it's like,
Right.
I don't, tell me what it is and I'll decide if I want to come get it. I'm assuming it's a benefit across the, like, no matter what, you should take it.
yeah, the G7 hop, like just for instance, it'll shoot 2 bullets every time you pull the trigger.
Okay, so yeah, it's like until I figure that out, it's kind of a struggle
Right,
where I pick it up
exactly.
and then I have to go into my inventory. I have to look at it to
Right.
see what it is, just because I haven't memorized any of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So
But
No, I'm still bad.
basically, if you ever find a hop for a gun that you have in your inventory, just pick it up because
Well,
it's gonna
yeah.
it's gonna be a benefit either way.
That's fine until you get. There's one of them. It might be for the Hemlock where it has to shoot in single shot,
Oh, really?
like semi.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
there's one of them where the hop up only works. It made it so your bullet damage was higher, but
Oh,
you
I
had
see.
to shoot it in semi.
Oh, single.
I got you.
Okay.
So it's stuff like that where it's like I feel like I do have to sit down and actually read each one just so I'm not firing that gun in full auto and missing out on a potential benefit for it. So
Yeah. Well, that's like the Prowler. If you find the hop for that thing, it basically turns it into a heavy ammo SMG. It just shreds people.
yeah, that's one thing that I've been seeing a lot is if you have like an R99 or any
Yeah.
of the close-up SMGs and somebody's actually up on you, you just
Yeah.
you'll
as
never
long
put
as you
someone
can
down
hit 'em.
faster. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
as long as you can keep the target on their body, then you're good. But it also shreds through the ammo so quick that if you miss, you're done.
You're in
Yeah.
trouble. Right,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
One of the games I rocked 2 alternators.
Oh,
And I had
wow.
one was fully quipped out, and the other one had all like basic level rubbish. Yeah, and I would go in, I'd shred with one, and then flick over, and obviously it's an alternator again, and then you shred again,
Yeah.
and that was strange because obviously you're then trying to hoard all the light ammo that you can possibly find because
Yeah, you're ripping
you're going
through
through
30 at a time.
exactly.
But if you're playing with like a teammate who wants to do the same thing and use like a G7 and an R301 or something where it all takes
Light.
the light ammo, you can kind of like, hey,
Yeah.
I found some ammo for just you. Here's some for just me. Like you could
Yeah.
definitely do it that way if you
It-
favor those guns.
It's a lot better if you're obviously communicating mic'd up and you're playing with people you know, then you've got that communication. Whereas if you're playing sometimes with randoms, it's a lot harder to get that understanding and the kind of, help me out. Don't be a loot goblin. I want,
Yeah.
or I need this, which I suppose
loot-
essentially,
The old loot vacuum.
yeah,
Yeah,
essentially
it's
I'm being the
playing
loot
with-
vacuum myself. But yeah,
Playing with Kirby over there. Just sucking everything up. He's got all these attachments and things he doesn't even need, but he's got inventory space, so
are you looking at these guys? You've all got purple shields, and I'm still rocking level 1. What's happening?
What's
Someone
going
help
on
me.
here?
So, yeah, Apex is, season 4 is here. I got the battle pass, so ever you see me on there, jump in. I'm not good, but I'm fun.
Not good, but I'm fun.
I average like 1 to 2 wins a day, so
That should be your motto.
yeah.
Put it in your Xbox profile.
Not good, but I'm fun.
Not good, but I'm fun. Nothing wrong with that.
Pretty fitting.
Cool. Yeah. So Apex is still good, believe it or not. Everybody, if you're looking for a battle royale, there you go.
Yeah,
However,
buddy.
if you're looking for a different battle royale, Moose, you've been
Yes,
playing some PUBG with me and some other people.
I've been trying. Oh man, I forgot the learning curve of that game.
Yeah, it's so I hop back in, and I don't know why I did.
New map, right?
Well, yeah. So the new. Oh man, I should have written down the name of the map. Do you remember
It's
the
like
name of the map?
Hurricane or something like that. I'll look it up real quick.
I wanted to call it Kakarot, but isn't that something else?
That's
Dragon Ball Z game.
Exactly.
Carrot stick.
It's something like that. So I hopped into that. I pretty much
Karakin.
Karakin. Okay. So we pretty much exclusively have been playing Karakin the last few days. It's it's a sand map, kind of like the
Second map.
the second map that came out in PUBG. I'm terrible with
Sandhook?
these names, except for
Is it Sandhook?
no, that's the I think that's a small like 4x4 map or sand. I don't. You tell me, Chocolate. I don't remember.
I shall be back. I'm googling.
Yeah, so it's just it's a lot of sand. It's
Miramar.
Miramar. That the name of it?
Yeah, that's the second map
Yeah.
in PUBG.
Yeah, so this is
Yeah.
like smaller Miramar is what it feels like to me.
Right.
Except for they upped the loot by what feels like 8 billion, which
Yeah.
is super awesome in a battle royale when you know you're not gonna like if you lose a fight, most likely in this game, it's because you got outplayed, not because you landed in a bad spot and couldn't get loot. Because I'll walk into buildings that have like 6 assault rifles in one room and tons of ammo and attachments.
Like piles of guns, literally.
Yeah, like they're stacked on top of each other. And then, so at one point we had swapped over back to Erangel, which was the first map, just to see what it was like, and landed and couldn't find loot.
Couldn't find anything.
Which, it's two very different types of game when the loot is set out that way.
Right.
So if you're still into like the old school Erangel map, and just set your expectations after you've been playing the new map, because there's not a lot of loot, which is fun in its own way. But I think I definitely prefer landing, being able to actually be ready to have my first gunfight when it comes about, rather than, well, I had an SMG and this guy had an assault rifle and a sniper rifle, and it was a long engagement. Like, it's good to be ready for that kind of stuff.
Yep. I'm still figuring out the guns again. So I know that I like the was it M416 or something like that?
Yeah,
that
the
one
M4
shoots straight.
It's fun. There's definitely new guns since I played last.
Tons of them.
Yeah, like every other gun I was picking up the first few games was new, but the old guns were still all there, so
Right.
It's not like they're getting rid of stuff.
Yeah, I picked like a MK Mutant or something.
There's definitely a gun. I've just been calling it the Mutant because there's some numbers and letters before it, but the important part is the Mutant. So,
but that game like feels so, I don't know. It makes me feel so dumb. Maybe
it feels so PUBG.
Yeah, but after playing all the other battle royales, like it just feels like clunky and slow and like.
I mean, well,
I don't want to say unresponsive, but like you've got to go into your menus to attach things, and you know what I mean.
It's definitely more simmy than something like Apex,
right? Or Tarkov, something like that, right?
Or yeah. And they've made some improvements to the game since the last time I played it. Like, it's running a lot smoother. They have options in there that are like PC options, but for the Xbox, like you have a field of view slider.
Yeah, that goes up to like 110%.
Which goes up pretty far, in which you don't see that a ton of games. And it also has a resolution/performance. So you can pick which modes. You're going to play in either 1440 with higher frames or 4K. So if you're out on a 10p or a 1080p monitor or a 1080p television, like, just put it in performance mode. And yeah, I don't know. It just feels smoother overall. It's definitely like a clunkier game, like you said, Moose. But I feel like that's how it was built, kind of. Like, those are just its bones. It's not going to feel as smooth as Apex, like
any of the things that came after it.
Right. But it's definitely the most tactical one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd say the best, update or correction they've made is I don't think any of us got kicked out of a game while we were on a motorcycle or in a car.
Just weird bugs
flying across the map.
Yeah, so if you haven't played in a long time, the game's on console specifically is leaps and bounds better than it used to be, which is awesome.
They did add things. It should, right?
What?
I said it runs like it should.
Yeah, exactly. And they added a ping system, which everyone's doing, obviously. Mm-hmm. You can be very specific about the ping too. Like, if you point up onto a ridge, you'll also call out like the approximate distance. So if you have a sniper, you can actually dial it in if you're getting that far into it, or if you're that good, I guess.
If bullet drop's a thing for you, because it's not for me. I just shoot at the guy and watch everything hit him 20 yards in front.
They also made it so if you have a weapon and you pick up an attachment, it just auto attaches. I know that used to be a huge benefit on PC. Was the people that would pick up stuff, it was so easy for them to put the actual attachments on their guns, because they just use their mouse and quickly throw everything over to one side of the screen. It would attach everything. Where when you had your Xbox controller, you had to like click down to it, had to click a button, and then click which gun to put it on. Now, if you have a gun that it'll go on, whichever gun's equipped, it'll just throw that attachment onto the gun. And if you pick up a new gun, it swaps all of it out onto the new weapon. It's definitely better than it used to be. And
massive quality of life improvements, that is, having the attachments swap over and
100%.
Automatically.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like they finally took a look around and was like, what's everyone else doing in the battle royale genre that we started, but everybody else has improved upon. We need to kind of throw some of that back into our game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because before you had to, essentially just make your weapon explode on the floor, pick up the other gun, and then put everything back onto it. And that takes you 10 or 15 seconds where you're getting shot in the face.
Yeah, and that's how it was in Blackout for a while before they picked it up. It's kind of Apex has done plenty for the Battle Royale genre, so that's good on them. But yeah, PUBG's in a good place. And if you haven't played in forever, hop back in. If you have even an inkling, I think most people will be impressed with where it is now compared to where it was a year ago, 2 years ago. It's fun, though.
Yep, and they have 6 maps to play now, too. So different sizes, snow, jungle, desert, whatever,
a little bit of everything. I thought, didn't they have a snow map for a while?
Yeah, they still do, unless it's not available. But it's listed on the Wikipedia as one of their maps.
Okay, yeah, I just didn't play it at all. But like I said, I've been playing the new map pretty much exclusively. So
yep,
yeah, I'm enjoying my battle royales again since Modern Warfare apparently decided they're just not going to do it or talk about theirs. So
hey, they could be the first ones to make data miners liars.
Good, somebody needs to do it. Yeah, that's PUBG. I don't really think I had much else to talk about that one, but it's definitely changed. It's definitely better. So
right, and there's custom maps or matches too now. So if you're looking for something to play with a bunch of people, you can play up to 100 people with your own, without having any randos or anything. So
yeah, that's such an awesome community thing you could do as well. Like if you just take the 2x2 map, like the smallest map of there, and just throw 20 people in, like that could be a ton of fun. For
Only
sure.
one will survive.
All right, where are we going next? Moose, you want to talk about Battlefield 5?
Sure.
You're still chipping away at those war stories?
Yep, I've got 2 of them done. So I played through the first 2. The first one was Under No Flag. So you're a criminal pulled from a London jail and forced to the front lines, and it's on you, and basically only you, to take out a German airbase. So you've got to sneak around and take out the antennas, and then you got to sneak over and take out the anti-aircraft guns, and then blow up planes, and it's just a lot of fun. And then the second mission that I played was called the Nordlies, and you were essentially a female version of Sam Fisher from Norway, and you have to infiltrate first an enemy base to free your mom. And then second, you have to steal a bunch of enemy intel. So it's a lot of fun. They're really well written. They look beautiful. And, I don't know why I waited so long to play this before. Probably because I was just so turned off by all the things that were wrong with the game.
That's kind of how these games go, it seems.
Right.
It's just kind of just give it a year or two.
Yeah. Don't buy it when it comes out. Save yourself $40 and buy it the following year for $20. And it should be in, the best form that it can be in at that point. So I want to check out all the new stuff, the Pacific, and there's a new jungle map as well that just came out last week. But right now I'm just crushing the storyline stuff. When nobody wants to play Apex with me, that's what I'm playing. So
I haven't touched Battlefield in so long.
Dude, if you go back, you'll just be shocked at how good that game looks.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Battlefield 1, and the Battlefield before that were kind of my top multiplayer games. It's a shame they dropped a big doo-doo right at the beginning. And
yep, I think that that's the case with Battlefield 5 as well as Battlefront 2. They're both in their best states that they've ever been in right now.
Yeah,
and they're being supported immensely by EA. So why not jump in now? I think you can pick them up for like less than $10 at GameStop this week. So
oh wow,
it's also like they don't have a game coming out this year, so
right,
maybe they just have the extra time to be focusing on the stuff. I'm sure they're working on whatever's coming next, Battlefield 6 or Battlefront 3 or something. I'm curious to see where they go next. If they're going back to modern, or if they're going to try to go back to Vietnam or one of the other, previous wars. Modern makes the most sense to me,
right.
But I don't know if because Call of Duty, that's never stopped them before, I guess, though. They kind of always just bounce off each other, it seems like. So
exactly,
definitely could be modern, and I'd be okay with it. But Battlefield 4 was probably the best one in the series.
No doubt.
Doesn't hold up as well now, but
But
Definitely
this
the one I
is-
had the most fun with.
This is on my backlog list. I hope to have it completed next week. I've got 2 more war stories to finish. So
Nice. So they not added any since launch? That was kind
I
of just
think
like
that started with like the prologue, which is kind of like an overview of the war, and you just play like 15-minute segments here and there, and then it swaps you, kind of like what Call of Duty does. And then the next 2 are like 2 to 4 hour long segments, depending on how bad you are.
okay.
So it's probably about
Fair
an
enough.
8-hour campaign altogether, something like
Nice.
that. Yeah, but like I said, it's really well written. They have really great character development, and they give you good background on who you're playing as and all that stuff. So, and they're all different people. You know, it kind of jumps around in the war and gives you a different story from all different perspectives.
Yeah.
That trailer for the Jungle one was really, really good. I watched it, I think, a few days ago, and it looked really immense and
The new Jungle
cool.
Maps.
Yeah, I think there was a woman, and I think her squad got taken out, and then she kind of calmed herself down,
Yeah,
found her zen, and then mowed everyone down with a sword. And oh my god, yeah,
it takes place in the Asian Pacific somewhere, like Laos or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but it's definitely, you know, in the jungle, and it looks intense. I've watched actually Jordan from X1 Bros stream it last week, and he's pretty good at that game. I'm definitely not that good, but it looks like a really intense map. It's kind of small, and it's very populated as far as, you know, the troops go. So lots going on.
good. Might jump back into it. We'll see.
Do it, Bear.
Nice. What's up next? Vigor. Vigor's on the list. Chocolate. Diving into some Vigor. I've been playing this a bunch this week as well. It's kind of been Apex, Vigor, PUBG,
Right.
Destiny 4, whole bunch of things. How you liking Vigor?
Vigor's strange.
That's fair.
Yeah, coming off the back of playing far too much Apex, I thought I would, you know, see the world, have a good encounter. I think literally 5 minutes as soon as I loaded in, some sneaky SOB shot me while I was running past something. So I'm a fool. But just the way, I suppose, the way they've got the fact that you can build your base, hop into a match, do what you need to do, come out to then upgrade your base to then help you get I don't know, map pieces for this gun and that gun. Yeah, I like the idea of it, but I can't quite grasp the going in gun-ho or running or searching through.
How you should be playing it.
It's not... obviously, I need to play it a lot more, and I didn't give the game enough time to kind of work out how I needed to do it and what I needed to do.
Did you go in by yourself, or did you go in with like a guide? Because Risky basically showed me the ropes, and if I would jump into that game without, you know, somebody showing me what to do, I'd just be like, I don't know what to do. I suck at this.
Yeah.
Let's go play something else. Yeah.
I went blind. I stupidly went blind just because I thought I want to try this. Everyone has been talking about it. Everyone kind of jumped on the Vigor train.
It was everybody that had a
yeah.
console and not a PC that couldn't play Tarkov. Just
Yeah,
everyone go to
basically.
That's
Vigor.
it exactly. Yep.
So yeah, I tried it. I would imagine I definitely need a guide, because this game is not your well, it's not even a battle royale, but you know, that atypical kind of thought process of, right, I can have an encounter, kill this guy, move on, try and get to the next bloke, because that's not what this game's about. This game is about collecting your resources, building up the back end, building up your base so you can go in better equipped to then potentially crouch, hide in a bush, and then come out and
Yeah.
kill some poor fool that's been in the game for 2 minutes.
That's the thing, is that like some of your best runs, or like personally some of my best runs have been runs where I don't see a single person, because I don't have to deal with anyone. And like when you're in there, you have the Bard House, which holds a ton of loot, and then you have the airdrop, which holds a ton of loot. And I've had matches where I've gone to both of those, got both of those, and just not had to fight with anyone else, because everyone else is just kind of doing their own thing, like maybe just looting buildings and then trying to leave. Because a lot of people just run in with no weapons. You just run in. You're not risking anything because you're not bringing any of your weapons. Just try to grab as much loot as you can and then come back right where you came from. So there's, the one thing you can hit that gives away all the locations of where people are. Have you hit that at all?
What is that? The signal tower. So I went to go to a signal tower. That's where I got shot. So I went up. I saw out the corner of my eye. I was like, "Oh, what's that? That's close." Because I think I was going to go to the. Oh, let me try and think. It was either like a dock or a boatyard or some. That was like 250 yards away, and then I saw this thing in the corner of my eye that was 10 yards away. I thought, oh, I'll go to that. I went to go kind of tinker around, and a guy literally just kind of from laying down, prone, crouched, stood up, pop. I was like, oh, I'm not having this. Only had my pistol, went to try and aim, got 2 shots off at him, and then I was dead. It was like, oh, this is tough.
And that's the same thing with like Tarkov, like this type of game, especially having objectives in this game, like having the signal tower makes it a perfect spot for somebody to just camp up, wait for some unsuspecting person, go to hit the switch, because as soon as you start to hit X on it, you're kind of like locked onto it right there, so you can't like back off quick and run away. And
no,
it's definitely a good ambush spot.
No, 100%, it was good. I need to play that game more, thinking kind of a State of Decay style, grab your loot, move. Yeah, that kind of constant exploration and moving at the same time. But I didn't have that mindset at the time.
That's one thing that's kind of cool about the game, is that so when you get into your lobbies, you can, I don't know if you noticed this, but you can actually click on each person and see what they're bringing into the fight. So if you see the 4 other teams that you're going to fight against all have like legendary or exotic gear, like yellow or purple, they're probably coming for the care package or whatever. So you might want to stay away from it. Or if you see anyone in general that run and you brought in like a pistol, just stay away from everyone. But then you'll get runs later on where you're bringing in your own like purple gun that has sights and is fully loaded, and you're just aiming to go to every hot spot, kill people, take their loot. It's just cool how you can kind of do different runs depending on who's in your lobby. It's a lot to think about, like you said, and the more you play, the easier figuring those type of situations out becomes.
Definitely. Show me the ropes. Moose, take me through this place.
Best part is it's free to play.
Yeah, so. which is awesome. Definitely worth a free to play look.
No doubt. They've got a better style of battle pass than the other games, because they are constantly giving you, on the free tier, they're constantly giving you stuff which is not necessarily. So Apex gives you at times absolute crap and garbage that you don't want. However, this one was
all crates.
It was all
lots of crates.
Was there some cosmetics, or that was on the battle? That was on the paid.
I think there's cosmetics too.
Yeah, so it seemed like there was a constant kind of flow of free stuff that you wanted, that you needed. So I liked that part of it. I'm going to waffle, so but let's move on.
Just need to get you some knife runs under your belt, Bear. Just
go
in with nothing, so then if you get killed, it doesn't matter, and just see. I think that's like the most fun, is just going in with nothing and trying to loot as much as you can and escape before somebody with a gun finds you.
Yeah, it's weird how there's different stages. Like when you first start out, that's a great idea, and then it's like as you play more and you just have more equipment and more equipment. Like at this point, I've just got like 50 random weapons sitting in my stash, so it's like, well, I might as well just take one out, or I can make them super easy now. So it's kind of, as you like, the people who've been playing this game for like hundreds and hundreds of hours are always going to have like great loot to bring in, just because they're going to have a stockpile of the stuff at this point. So the different play styles from starting and being hundreds of hours into the game are very different how you're going to play. So it's kind of cool going on that journey.
Yeah, and then you can also get to the point where you just play Golden Goose mode and load up all your best stuff and just, go tempt folks to try to kill you.
Right. And that's fun until somebody sneaks up behind you, and then they get your
They-
golden
They
goose.
knife kill you for
Exactly.
2 months worth of loot.
Yeah, it's fun. That's what's really nice about Vigor and Tarkov. It's just that type of risk where you bring in your like most prized possessions, and then if you don't play well or you have an off game, you lost all of that, and it's pretty cool that way.
Yeah.
I did have one Tarkov story. I barely played Tarkov this week, but the one run I did do, I went in with Shopa, and we were looting like a 3-story building, and he told me he'll yell like comms, or we just say comms when we need everyone to stop moving, so you can kind of soundboard a little bit, see who's where. So he said that, and I stopped, and we were on the same floor. I was kind of like down a hallway a little bit away from him, and he didn't know I went down there. So we're looting 2 rooms that are maybe like 3 doors away from each other, and then we both think we hear something. So I pop out my door, and I'm like using the lean function, and then I see his like bald shiny head pop out, because it's like you kind of just inspect each other when you first land in, because there's nothing above anyone's heads to tell you that they're your teammates. So he's this bald dude with sunglasses, and so I peek out, I see him, and he peeks at me and just blows me away. Like it was the best shooting I'd ever seen.
Between the eyes.
Yeah, dude. He was like, as soon as he did it, he was like, Zach,
That was you,
Zach,
wasn't it?
was that you? That wasn't you, was it? And I was just like, F this. I'm done. And I think that's how we ended that night. It was just like, but it was the first time that that type of situation being like a thing in real life.
Yeah.
Like that's just so scary that like that's what
I think. Every time I die in Tarkov, it's because I'm like, is that you? Nope, that's not you. Because I hesitate just for a second, and then I'm dead.
Yes, if you need the awareness of where your teammates are all the time. And I think that's why I've been just migrating a lot towards Vigor. It's so much more user friendly and forgiving. You have a map, you know where there's a little diamond above your teammates' names or heads, so you don't accidentally kill them. Oh, Tarkov,
We'll get there.
that's something.
We'll get there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I think that's really all we've been playing. It's been a lot of the same old stuff, but
There's
definitely
not anything new out, so you're going to be stuck with all the same old stuff until something comes out.
right. And maybe some backlog stuff here and there.
Exactly.
Maybe get you guys some exciting stories from these same old games. All right, so next up, we need to quickly talk about Game Pass Roulette because we dropped the ball.
Yeah, I made a moose steak.
You didn't even make. I mean, that's pretty good.
Amazing.
But, I looked it up and I was like, yep, we're good. February 11th. Good to go. Didn't double check anything. So that's not coming out February 11th. Thanks, Rocker, for letting us know.
Yeah, so it's coming out, I think, like a month after that.
Yeah, I think it's March 11th actually now.
So we're going to move Ori and the Will of the Wisps to next month's. And to fill the spot for this month that we're in right now of February, we're going to do kind of a different one, a fun little one.
Yeah,
we're going to put a fun little spin on it. We're going to play Fishing Sim World Pro Tour. Oh, everybody just went, ugh.
Nah.
You hear all the sighs?
I'm going fishing. Got
I
the
heard
cooler full of beer already.
But what we're going to do is once we've kind of dove into the game a little bit in the next couple weeks, we're going to set up some type of tournament for the last week of Game Pass where we'll have a certain area, certain fishing rods, certain bait. Yeah, we're just going to try to get everybody on the same playing field somehow. And then we're just going to have a little fishing tournament with everybody can send us pictures or post in Discord their biggest fish that they've caught. Mm-hmm. We just figured that'll be a fun way to kind of get some community interaction.
Maybe
I guess
we can muster up some sort of prize, like a Game Pass code or $10 to this Microsoft store, something like that.
I was just going to say, what could the guys net them?
Well, we'll tell them next week once we've decided. So keep your eyes out, folks.
Just download it and get to practicing, because I'm going out for the W.
Yep, we're gonna win our own prizes.
That's right. Keep the money in the house.
Keep it in house.
The house always wins.
Risky always loses it in gambling every weekend, so Gotta
Yeah,
do
so I got to
something.
win some of it back. We're pretty much broke at this point. Sorry, patrons. I spent all your money on the 49ers. At the
But
Super Bowl.
he's got a hot tip on the Milwaukee Bucks this year, so I'm hoping on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so Fishing Sim World Pro Tour, this went into Game Pass, I think like last month, in January at some point. So it's new on Game Pass. And we'll keep you guys updated on how the little tournament's going to go, what the prize is going to be. But get out there and start fishing, folks. You got
That's
to
right.
get your practice in.
Dinner ain't gonna catch itself.
Looking for the best anglers only. All right.
Catch me some bass.
Exactly. That's the spirit, Chocolate. Get excited for dinner. I'm pretty hungry. Anyways, yeah, so Game Pass Roulette is changing. Ori and the Will of the Wisps will be next month. So yeah. Let's get into some news. All right, Moose, what's going on in the news this week?
Not a whole lot, to be honest.
It's just a big old dead period and everything in games right now.
I guess I looked at like 100 websites this morning trying to find news. So I got
Everybody
a few
just
stories.
play your battle royales, and news will come in a couple months.
Right. This first story comes compliments of the bear himself. I know he's keeping a close eye on this. The Bleeding Edge beta is going to be next weekend. So if you've pre-ordered the game on any platform, or if you have Game Pass access, then you can download the beta. Ninja Theory just said to look for the game in the store sometime this week. So the beta should be there, I would say, probably Wednesday or Thursday, since Friday is the day it opens. And it's good from Friday till Sunday, the 16th.
Yeah, it's Feb 14th. That's the Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
It's a strange day to drop it, but we love you, Bleeding Edge, so...
Hey, you can sit next to your sweetheart and just melee and hack and slash your way to, a beautiful night of romance.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's a very descriptive word there, Bear.
Yeah, I couldn't think of anything that was punny or anything else, so let's move on.
I don't think Risky has anything to add to that story, so let's move on. Dan Houser is retiring. So I don't know if you guys heard about this last week, but it kind of shook up the gaming world. The Rockstar co-founder and one of their biggest creatives is walking off into the sunset, a very rich man, in March. Let's see. He had a hand in the writing of most notable Rockstar games, the GTA series, Red Dead Redemption, Red Dead Redemption 2, Bully, LA Noire, Max Payne. Pretty much anything that sold is him. So I read on one site that departure could have something to do with Rockstar moving games toward their online modes and away from single player narratives. So, he's like, well, if there's no use for this creative brain, then I'm going to go play golf, I guess.
Yeah, and he's still going to be making money even after he retires.
Well,
so.
his brother is the co-founder, so it's not like they're going anywhere.
Just the amount of money this man is retiring with, he doesn't need any extra money, anyways.
Dude, I read an article that Rockstar had its most successful holiday season of GTA this last December.
Like, what?
Yeah. The game's been out for 7 years, and it had the best-selling holiday season last December, 2019.
Isn't that mind-blowing?
They're printing money,
It's
literally.
insane, dude.
Yeah.
GTA 6 is going to make, I can't think of the amount of money. I can't even make up a number for you. It's going to be more than anything ever.
Unfortunately, well, at least in my opinion, it looks like the GTA 6 is going to be completely online. So there's not going to be any type of single-player story narrative stuff in it.
I don't know if I'm even that upset about it.
Well, I know, because you spent thousands of hours in GTA Online, right?
Yeah, and you did the campaign, and I haven't yet, so makes sense.
But I was also the person that turned in the first Call of Duty Modern Warfare after I finished the campaign, so maybe I'm not doing it right.
Maybe. I just looked up Dan Houser's net worth, faux fun.
Oh boy,
130 million.
That's it.
Pretty respectable. Last updated 2020. So
he must be giving money to charity because they make billions. But I guess
Yeah.
China takes a good chunk of that, don't they? Being Take-Two.
Maybe he's the younger brother, and so
Yeah,
the
right.
older one gets a bigger cut.
I'm sure that doesn't have his golden handshake in that figure.
Yeah, the parachute. I'm
Definitely
sure
true.
he's
Yeah.
going to be just fine.
100%.
So, like I said, he's walking off into the sunset, a very rich man, and he'll be sorely missed by most of the people there at Rockstar.
Yeah, all those games you said are just classic. Like
Exactly.
Rockstar doesn't do bad games that often. So,
Well, we'll see what happens after Dan's gone.
all right.
So, on to some more departure news. Chocolate, this one might hurt you closer to the heart. Rod Ferguson, after 15 years of working on Gears at the Coalition, he is joining the Diablo 4 team at Blizzard. He's joining Mike Ibarra, previously of Xbox, in what could be the most tumultuous time for Blizzard in history.
Well, they need to get their socks pulled up, don't they? They've had
do.
a rough couple of
And it's
outings.
well, the hits keep on coming, with the Warcraft remastered game last week or 2 weeks ago that they're just giving full out refunds to everybody for. So it's, things are looking bad, but they got some big wigs from Microsoft over there trying to fix things.
Yeah, it interests me that I wonder whether some of these are not that they were pushed, but if you're onto a cushy thing, if you're doing well, why do you leave?
You need a challenge.
Potentially.
And what bigger challenge than try
Right.
to right the sinking ship that is Blizzard?
Well, that's true. It's only got one way. Well, I mean, it could be dead, but yeah, there's only one way. Hopefully, they'll resurrect.
Maybe they see, Blizzard as just a sad little injured puppy that they want to nurse back to health and, bring to champion form.
No, true. Have they named a replacement for him at the Coalition?
Not that I'm aware of. Have you heard?
No.
I'm sure it'll
not that
be
I've heard.
something internal. Because it sounds like,
I would-
he's been there for 15 years, so I assume a lot of the other people that are under or parallel with him have been there about the same amount of time. So, did you know that the Coalition started out at Epic Games?
I only recently found that out.
Yeah, I
few
I
days
read
ago.
that today, and then they sold the IP to Microsoft, and then it took off from there.
How weird is that? Epic could have been before
Right.
the Fortnite blew up. Could have been something. Well, not could have been something. They were something, but yeah, they could have had these amazing titles under their belt.
Yep, everything happens for a reason. I think they're doing just fine.
Well, yeah, I think the Fortnite has cushioned the blow.
Yeah, no doubt. So, anything to add there, Risky?
Nah, I'm good.
Cool. Let's move on. Phil Spencer is doing his peacock walk around town these days. He stated in a protocol interview last week that they respect Sony and Nintendo, but see Amazon and Google as their main competition for the future.
Shots fired.
Microsoft has spent tens of billions on Azure, which is their cloud-based gaming program, and also the Game Pass subscription service, and they're hedging their bets that it's going to be the future of gaming. And basically they're saying, Nintendo and Sony, you guys are cute, but we are years and billions ahead of you in the future.
See, I think that the way he's setting this up is because of Game Pass and Ultimate Game Pass.
Right.
It's that they are looking to jump in on the Netflix subscription. That's why it's their competition. It's got nothing to do with games. It's getting people in that ecosystem, in that service.
Right. And then they've got
That
Twitch, to compete with Amazon over on their streaming service.
precisely. Yeah, I don't think they're not bothered by the games.
No.
That's the wrong word, but it's their focus is on getting people in
Right.
any which way, how. And yes, you need the software to do that.
Yep.
All the games, but that's the way I read
Yeah.
that kind of.
Yeah, what essentially what Phil's saying is, you guys have your game consoles, and that's cute and all, but we're a multimedia platform, and everybody's going to come here for everything.
Yeah, and I believe didn't Nintendo's CEO respond or say something about?
Yeah,
I can't think what it was.
Basically, they're asking what they're doing with the Switch, and he basically just said that the Switch is in the middle of its life cycle right now. They're not looking to make any moves. They're not competing with anybody, and Nintendo is their own entity, and they don't have any competition.
No, which I was speaking to a friend, and it's funny how when you talk about consoles, you do only talk about PlayStation and Xbox. However, whichever side of the fence you sit on with either of those, there's one common denominator.
Right.
90% of people will have a Switch.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it does seem that way. And
that's
Nintendo's in a perfect spot there.
Yeah, and that's what they were saying with the Switch being in its mid life cycle right now is what they're finding out with the Switch Lite is all those people that had all those Pokemon titles on the DS and the Game Boys are coming over just for that handheld experience, and they're buying the Lite because it's the most similar experience to what they had with their old consoles or their old handhelds.
Although, dude, I will say that obviously I've talked about some cloud gaming before with like xCloud, but I bought, and I don't even know if I've talked about this, but I bought the Razer Jungle Cats controller for my phone.
Right.
And it's $100 controller. It's way too much for what it is. It's essentially buying it. Well, right. It's essentially buying a set of Joy-Cons, which those still run like $80 right now.
Yeah, it's crazy, and they're cheap plastic too.
Yeah, I mean these are they're very, very similar. To Nintendo's Joy-Cons.
Because didn't Jungle Cat or didn't Razer just announce a new one also that's made specifically for xCloud, but it's not out yet?
Yeah, that does sound familiar.
And it looks almost exactly like the Jungle Cat.
Right. But what I was getting at is that with how reliable so far for me on my home Wi-Fi, xCloud has been, it kind of like I haven't been touching my Switch as much because the game, I think there's like 50 something games in there right now, and if you're home and your Xbox console's there, you can literally stream anything on your Xbox right now.
Right. You just have to be in the preview program.
Right, which is opt-in at this point.
Right.
So
exactly.
Anybody can be doing it, and I started up, I didn't want to talk about it this week because I didn't get that far into it, but I started up Vampire, I think it's called Vampire.
Vampire with a Y.
Right.
We know what you mean.
Playing that, I was just playing it in bed one night, and it's all so seamless. Like it blows my mind how well that works, and it kind of is like.
But that's single player, right?
Yeah, it's completely single player, so I didn't have to worry about input lag, which it's pretty minimal. But obviously, I don't recommend playing competitive shooters or anything like that.
And not even Sea of Thieves in our last experience that we had. But maybe it's better.
We should try that again. Because I don't know. I don't know what the issue was there. It might have been the multiplayer aspect of it.
I think it was just, it was going from the Xbox to the phone to the controller to the controller to the phone to the, you know what I mean? It was just too much of a chain to go back and forth.
Right. Too many links to get to the final place. But
exactly.
Yeah, with xCloud doing well, it kind of scares me about the Nintendo stuff. Obviously, you have first-party Nintendo games that you can't play anywhere else, but I'm super happy where xCloud is right now, and it's only going to get better. So,
right. Well, compared to those people that paid $30 or $40 for the Stadia Founders Pack and still can't play anything, and now they're including games that people have already paid for free.
Yeah, and GeForce just dropped their streaming thing where you can
NVIDIA.
Stream your whole Steam library or Epic library or good old games library. Like, Stadia, where you at?
And I think Amazon's supposed to be dropping something any day now, too. So,
yikes.
Yeah, that's
I'll have to talk to my friend about Amazon. I'll let you know next week.
Oh, Chocolate knows a guy.
I might know some.
I bet he could get you free shipping.
No, that son of a bit.
If you can't,
Amazon
I can.
Scrooges.
Yeah, me too.
Amazon are Scrooges. Anyway, moving on. I've got a cough.
Okay, well, I don't want to hear about that cough because that leads us to our next story, Bear. Finally, the coronavirus has infiltrated the gaming industry.
No!
Yep.
Say what?
Yeah, there's a few stories here. Private Division, the creators of Outer World, Basically just had to delay the release for the Switch version of the game due to office closures because of the massive Chinese epidemic. Nintendo also acknowledged that the virus is going to affect manufacturing in some of their products, and it also, from some of the economy reports that I read, it could delay both new consoles, Sony and Microsoft, because they're both made in Taiwan, which is real close to China, and they already have infected people. So that's fun stuff. And another little fun note is, what is it? Innocence? There's a Plague game that's a mobile game.
Oh.
A Plague Innocence or something like that. And that thing has skyrocketed in sales since this coronavirus outbreak. That's so much, dude, so much so that the developer of the game had to release a press statement saying essentially, this is just a game. This is not science. This is not exactly what's going to happen. So, it's come to such a high number of downloads that they actually felt like they had to come out with a press release saying that, this is not a map of how to survive this epidemic.
Oh my God. So, in what world do you have to release a statement telling people
this world?
I mean, this world.
This
yes,
world.
Clearly, but good Lord, people.
So yeah, coronavirus, it's slowly infiltrating everything in our lives.
Someone sent me a meme that said you should not pop the bubbles in bubble wrap because the bubble wrap comes from China and the air in the bubbles is from China.
Dude, I just saw one this morning that was all the Disney princesses and Belle, Snow White, Jasmine, and Cinderella all have masks on, and Mulan's sitting there, and it was like, you just can never trust anyone, Mulan.
Oh,
Jesus! It's like, come on, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, coronavirus, it's a thing and it's real and it's affecting supply chain at this point.
And affecting our news.
Yeah, no doubt. Chocolate's got a cough, so this may be his last week.
Ooh.
We'll love you, Bear.
Oh well.
We'll carry on in your honor, though, so don't worry.
I'll try and make the 10 weeks, and then yeah.
There you go. You can hold on for 10 more episodes, and then that's how you quit the show: is die of coronavirus.
Oh,
yeah.
I can get on board with that. Not really, Bear. Don't you go anywhere. Go get some emergency right now. So
does that actually stop the coronavirus?
I don't know. Vitamin C is supposed to fight off sicknesses and stuff.
All right, fair enough.
Cold and flu. Anyway, let's get back to the next one.
So I got some more delay news. Beyond Good and Evil 2 is delayed to at least 2021 now.
I didn't even know it was supposed to come out in 2020.
So, just so you guys know, this game was initially announced in 2008. So I didn't even know it was that far back. But in an earnings call last week, Ubisoft has 5 titles that they confirmed to be released in late 2020, early 2021. And none of these are going to be beyond Good and Evil 2. So they're going to push it for another year. If you're wondering what's coming out, it's going to be Gods and Monsters, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Watch Dogs Legions, an untitled Assassin's Creed title, and then another unannounced title that they have confirmed is not the Beyond Good and Evil 2. So they should just squash this game at this point. It's been 12 years.
Yeah, but I feel like this is like the weird, like rabid fan base,
like Kingdom Hearts type deal.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if you mess with those people.
Just sit in a constant state of disappointment, and then when the game does come out, it's never going to be good enough. So
yeah, that's exactly where Half-Life 3 and Valve are. They're like, no, we need to make a VR game because we're not going to try to make Half-Life 3. No way.
So yeah. That's about it for the news. That's all I could find off 27 different websites.
Hey, that's not too bad. I feel like we had some nice discussions there. That's what really counts, right?
Yeah, we hit all the main points.
Boom.
That's all I'm trying to do.
Speaking of main points, what games are coming out this week?
Done with the news, babe.
I love that. We should have that as a clip every time the news comes on now. Right, so Game Pass games that have just come in. We have Final Fantasy 15, the Royal Edition, and that's on PC. That is, on PC. It's the Windows Edition. There is Wolfenstein Youngblood, and that's for Xbox and PC. We've got Wasteland Remastered. We have Scourgebringer to the PC. And then Darksiders Genesis is coming out on the 14th of February.
Coming up soon.
We coming up very
Another
soon.
romantic title for Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, that's
More hacking and slashing.
yeah. It doesn't sit well, that one. Right, this one I'm going to murder straight off. So, Pescio Shooting Stars Bravo.
We'll go with Sicchio.
Sicchio, yeah.
Sicchio.
I'd leave that
Cool.
P at the door.
Talking of which, yeah, so that's coming out on the Switch on the 18th of February. There is also Devil May Cry 3, the special edition, and that's out on the 20th of February. Oh, I almost messed that up. And we also have some games leaving Game Pass, which are Shadow of the Tomb Raider, the Jackbox Party Pack 2, Pumped BMX Pro, Rage, and Disney Epic Mickey 2 The Power of 2. There's no date confirming when they're leaving, so
probably the
expect
end
them
of the
to
month.
leave. Yeah, expect them to leave any time between now and the end of Feb.
So it's a
Shadow-
good time to go ahead, babe. Or go ahead.
I would say
Whiskey.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider is the one out of there that I would probably try to get played if you haven't played it before.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe
Game's
pick
fantastic.
up Jackbox for cheap because you get a discount while it's in
20%
Game
off,
Pass.
yeah.
So,
I was just going to say, is it 20 or 15?
I think it's
I
thought it was 20.
can't remember. I think it's like 15 for games and 20 off DLC or something. Like it's
Yeah.
different for the two
Okay.
things. But Bear, I did want to double check, and Final Fantasy 15 is on both PC and Xbox.
Funny enough, I just downloaded Final Fantasy as well.
Nice.
Yes, but so they have two editions. There's the Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition, Windows Edition,
Oh,
and
okay.
then they have Final Fantasy 15, which is for the Xbox. I can't remember
The Royal,
rest of the
yeah, it's
part.
just the Royal
Yeah.
Edition.
But there is, if you do download Final Fantasy 15, just be wary. There is like 15 bits that come with that download.
just little
just
expansions and cosmetics things that are all
Yeah.
packs.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. I was expecting one game and that's it. But I had all of a sudden 21 downloads. when I-
Yeah,
Why
that's
is the queue so long?
because for some reason that
Yeah.
Royal Edition it downloads 14, which is the online, the MMO or whatever it is. Because I bought
Okay.
that game for like $20 last year, and it downloaded like 80 gigs worth of crap. But the actual Final Fantasy 15 was only like 25 or 30 gigs of it.
So looking at, when I looked at the trailer for Final Fantasy, this is possibly the only Final Fantasy that I may actually play and enjoy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
it's-
say this is a good one for people who aren't like turn-based.
And then 7
Players.
Remaster is going to kind of be along the same lines, right?
Yeah, well, you'll have the option,
Right, to play it not turn based.
right? It's more of a action RPG, I guess.
More moose style.
Exactly.
I'll see how I get into this Final Fantasy malarkey.
If you like road trips with your bros, it's up there.
I think it's like a
long as I don't have to drive.
70 or 80 hour road trip though, Bear. So make sure you use the
Oh.
restroom.
Road trip.
Let me delete that off my box.
Finish Tale of Two Sons, or Brothers,
Yeah.
whatever we decided it's called.
How about you just finish Gunman with Clive 2?
I could do that too.
Oh my god. Ugh. Do it.
Start out
Game
with
of the year.
small goals and work our way up. That's how we build a big man out of you, Bear.
Boom.
But I want to be a boy, Geppetto.
Oh no. We should probably plug the show up.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get out of here before somebody says something we shouldn't.
All right. Make sure to go over to Apple Podcasts, rate us, do all that fun stuff over there. Join us on Discord. It's where we all hang out each and every day talking about all sorts of stuff. Links for the Discord are in the show notes. If you'd like to support the show with your hard-earned money, head on over to patreon.com/CAG podcast. If you'd like to be more like Rocker Dude and win some things, have your name announced, that's a good way to do that. Go over, check out the tiers, check out some of the posts that we've made. Chocolate puts out a Chocolate Ramblings, which is a fun little 5-ish minute audio clip where you get to hear all of the insanity that happens inside of Chocolate's head. It's a good little listen.
Yeah. Sometimes I talk to myself. It's weird.
I think-
Never
Sometimes.
mind.
I think that's exactly
Yeah.
what those things are. It's just you talking to yourself.
That is true. That is true.
An additional way that you can support the podcast is head to our merch store, which is through Spreadshirt. Links for that are in the show notes as well. Twitter and Instagram, we are at CAG Podcast. And if you need to reach out via email for anything, cagpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to get a hold of me, I'm at Risky the Kid everywhere. Chocolate, how about you?
Chocolate about 80 everywhere.
And the Moose.
Moosenstein 8314 everywhere.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this week's episode of Cross Atlantic Gaming. We'll catch you guys next week for an all-new episode. Goodbye.
See ya.
Take care.
What do you get from a pampered cow?
What?
Spoiled milk.
Oh, okay. Have we stopped the Your Mama jokes?
I didn't know.
I
really
never started them.
Go ahead, Bear.
Your mama's teeth are so yellow when she smiles at traffic, it slows down.
Gross. What do you call an illegally parked frog?
Oh, a rib? No, go on.
Toad.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Hey, Bear, knock knock.
Who's there?
A little old lady.
A little old lady who?
All this time, and I didn't even know you could yodel.
Dude, God, that's so cringy. I knew it was happening
Got
as it was
him.
happening. Little lady.
All right, knock knock, Bear.
Who's there?
Robin.
Oh, God's sake. Robin who?
Robin, you. Now hand over the cash, sucker.